Go ahead. Sorry.
They got back-to-back home runs in the 8th from Jose and Josh Naylor, excuse me. Still a 3-2 loss to the Chicago White Sox to start off the series. What was your big takeaway from the game last night? Ben Lively pitched well again.
He did not pitch well. I would
dispute that. Well, I mean, it was a quality start.
For Ben Lively, it's a pretty damn good start.
It was a quality start.
You're holding your breath with him. He got lucky to only give up 3 runs because he's playing. He allowed 11 base runners against probably the worst team or one of the worst teams in baseball.
But I thought he worked out of stuff really well.
He did, but I think there was some luck in the mix there. I didn't think he pitched that well, but whatever. Listen, the starting rotation is an issue. It's an issue. It's not a quality start because he didn't go 6.
No, I went 5 2/3, and
yeah.
He should have gone 6, but Angel was behind home plate last night.
Yeah, well.
I mean, my God, did he squeeze him on that leg?
He's the worst baseball umpire in baseball.
In
Why he
history.
still has a job, I have no idea.
In the history of the game.
It's like a running gag in baseball.
It is a running gag. You're right.
He's awful. But Lively was fine. But it's just a matter of time. I mean, I'm worried about the rotation. The Quan injury is a big deal. It was good to see Naylor hit another home run and Jose starting to pick it up. But we talked about this yesterday, Jay. It's like you look at the stats and you're like, how are they doing this? Because outside of Naylor and Quan have been great. Fry and his
Ramirez has too now.
Fry has been really good. Ramirez lately has been hot. Most of the rest of the lineup has done little.
Yeah.
The rotation's been mediocre at best. Bullpen's been great. Defense has been great. But you look at a lot of the stats and you're like, how are they this good? But they are a scrappy, clutch-hitting bunch. They play great defense. They run the bases well, and the bullpen continues to be great. Cade Smith's been fantastic. He pitched well again yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
Unfortunately, you don't want to waste games against the White Sox, and now you got to win 3. I mean, you don't have to, but you'd like to win 3 in a row now here.
You can't lose this series. You just can't. And there's not going to be, you don't even want to tie this series. Now they made it tough. They got to win the next 3.
Yeah.
I thought last night was interesting because this season they have had the clutch hit from a variety of guys.
Right.
It hasn't just been Jose and Naylor. Now, obviously, the Quan being out of this lineup, he's the trigger man. He starts everything. Without him, it's like a team playing without their best point guard.
Yeah.
The problem last night was in the 7th inning, in the 6th inning, they get 2 on, nobody out, double play.
Yep.
They get nothing. 7th inning, they get bases loaded, nobody out. And I actually said out loud, this is the turning point because if they can get some runs here, they've got the big bats that are going to hit in the 8th and the 9th. They got out of it with nothing.
Yeah, that was really bad.
I thought it was a brilliant move by the White Sox to bring in a guy that they know is going to get a lot of strikeouts. They got the first 2 outs via strikeout. They get out of the inning, nothing. Then the 8th inning rolls around, and what happens? With Jose and Naylor up, they both hit solo shots.
Yep.
So you can't have 2 home runs in a game and lose 3-2. That means you're getting nothing from the other bats, and that's pretty much what happened last night. Hits were hard to come by. Base runners were hard to come by. When we did get them, we left them.
Yeah.
We did not have a hit with a runner in scoring position. You do that more often than not, you're going to lose the game.
Right.
And I think, to me, what really was disappointing was I think Will Brennan had a loud out after that. And in the 9th inning, they had a loud out to lead off the frame. Mm-hmm. But they went quietly, and they lose 3-2.
Yeah.
I think some of the wrinkles that have previously been hidden by whatever they're using are starting to surface.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. They're a pretty good team. They statistically, nobody's really overachieving, but they're overachieving as a team. They're going to need some reinforcements, and they're going to need to make a trade or two at some point. I'm not saying it has to happen today,
right?
But they're going to need to make a trade or two at some point. And I honestly, in a perfect world, would like to see them trade for an outfielder and 2 pitchers. I don't know that they're going to do it.
There.
I want to be very aggressive.
If you can only have one, what are you taking?
Well, what brand?
I'd get a pitcher.
Yeah, I need a pitcher.
You know what?
Too.
You don't have to pay for guys that are expensive. You could pay for lesser, guys who are maybe cheaper but are worth more prospect-wise. And the Guardians have to be able to trade some young players. They've been scared to do it the last couple of years. You talked about that 7th inning. That was so frustrating. It was so funny because I just finished my podcast. I was all excited about the Cavs. And as I'm wrapping up my podcast last night, I'm like, the Guardians just loaded the bases. I'm going to get out of here now. I'm going to go watch the Guardians.
By the time you got to the TV, the inning was over.
Manzardo was coming up with 2 outs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on. And I was like, no, this would have been so amazing if Manzardo came through with bases loaded.
What's he doing? Is he pushing? Is he pressing?
It seems like it, although I thought on his first hit as a pinch hitter 2 days ago, if you go back and look at his swing, he really waited on that ball. He was very patient for it to come in, and he went opposite field with it. I missed his first hit yesterday because I want to go back and watch it because I was watching the Cavs game, so I want to go back and see his first hit from yesterday. But, I mean, he's got 2 hits. He looks like a ball player. I mean, it feels
except the mustache. It's got to go.
Well, the mustache sucks, but
it's got to go.
I'd be curious to see if he's in the lineup today because Garrett Crochet's pitching for the White Sox. He's a lefty, so I wonder if they'll sit him today. But they just sat him 2 days ago. I hope they don't.
I know he's here. You want to see him get at bats. You want to see what you have and kick the tires a little bit.
Look at that whip on Carrasco.
But facing a lefty, the one thing you don't want to do is. He's 167 today.
Yeah.
You don't want him to be 111 tomorrow.
No, although he was hitting lefties well in the minors. By the way, I said this before, Jay, and I wanted to get your take on it. The Guardians obviously do not have a leadoff hitter without Steven Kwan. There's no obvious guy.
No.
But I mentioned this the other day to Zach Meisel, and I thought he was going to think I was crazy, but he actually thought it was a good idea. Obviously, this guy doesn't play every day, but in the games he plays, I would hit David Fry leadoff because he is so good at getting on base.
Yeah,
and it's not
good
like
hitter.
I know you want to say, well, maybe he's not a big time. Even in the minors, he didn't hit a ton of home runs.
No.
So and if he hits a home run in the leadoff spot, so be it.
We'll take it.
He's always his career minor league on base is about 350. Which is not amazing, but it's pretty good. And this year, he's been great at getting on base. Rocchio and Florial are not leadoff hitters.
Florial is definitely not a leadoff hitter. I was surprised.
I know Fry's not a runner, but
I think what you're trying to say is they don't have a prototypical
so put a guy who's
guy
good at getting on
without
base.
Kwan. Yeah, you might as well. That's the whole object is getting on base.